us to open the other end of the spectrum to see Christmas through your eyes. Well, whilst our lenses are in the streets, some in the hands of our correspondents and reporters, the other is also in the hand of well-meaning Nigerians like yourself who would choose to share their Christmas experience with us. We began yesterday with the first part of this special feature. The second part begins in just a minute. And for the cities we were unable to visit yesterday, let's see if time will permit for us to visit them today. Now, we talked about the economic management team putting a food alert on the situation in 31 states. One state in Nigeria has been christened the food basket of the nation, but its overtime has been affected by farmer header clashes, and this has also seen a low productivity. But away from that, let's see if there are pounded yams available in Benue for Christmas this season as we join Iorbee, who joins us from Benue this morning to share his Christmas perspective. Hello, Iorbee, good morning. Can you hear me?
Good morning, sir.
Oh, Iorbee.
I can hear you very clear.
Very well. Undeve.
Yeah.
Well, good morning and compliments of the season. How is Benue? Where particularly in Benue are you this morning?
Okay, I'm in Makurdi, the Benue State capital.
What's Christmas like in Makurdi this morning? Are people out enjoying the season, or is it a situation with lesser traffic?
Yeah, there's a beehive of activities, no doubt about that. My brother, I must thank God for giving us a leader who has played a very central role in ensuring peace, stability, and development. Since he assumed office, His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Benue State, Reverend Father Dr. Hyacinth Alia, has been committed in ensuring that peace reign for stability. I recall that administration does not operate in a vacuum. Administration operates in an environment in which the goals have to be achieved. And for the goals to be achieved, there must be a conducive environment. And since he assumed office, has taken report steps in ensuring that there's peace for the stated goals to be achieved. And as I speak to you, the governor in his magnanimity paid salaries for workers in the state to ensure they equip with the requisite.
Is that like a Christmas bonus, or it's the normal salary cycle?
The governor paid arrears.
Oh, arrears, you mean? I see.
He paid arrears and then paid 1 month regular salary, December. A very significant development.
Now, whilst we laud the governor for those initiatives, let's also talk about those who might not be in the civil service in Benue, particularly Makurdi. What's the activity like around the Urukum area where you have more of the transport stations? Are there increased number of persons traveling in and out of Benue?
Yes, and again, you another vital point you have raised and the governor attended to. The governor, in his own initiatives, has put in vehicles that will convey passengers to these difficult terrains. Difficult terrains in terms of transportation. You know, at this juncture, at this period, people, commuters, drivers exploit this opportunity to
increase transport fare.
Increase transport fare. So, out of his magnanimity initiative, has created a enabling environment to these difficult routes, so that it will ease transportation movement. So those who are not in the government, and then they maybe in terms of the market sellers and whatever you can think of, the governor has made it possible for customers to go there and get what they want to enjoy the Christmas.
Now, in moving on, about the food availability in Benue. Before now, in Benue, home to many yams, other staple foods and oranges. Would you say, as compared to other years, there's also been an increase in availability of these food items in the market space.
Yes, there's availability of the stuff you mentioned. Why? Because of the stability of the environment. I told you the governor, he's very concerned about agriculture. He's very concerned about industrialization, and then to ensure that the people benefit from their farm produce. He came on board and then gave out fertilizer to boost farm products, and then brought a lot of security measures. Recall that recently he inaugurated a security uh, architecture to curtail whatever kind of insecurity that may befall on the state, like invasion or what spontaneous issues on environment.
All right,
This is
Yobe, we
very,
appreciate you for joining in to share your Christmas perspective this morning. Kirimishi do, Yomihe do.
thank you so much, my good brother. I wish you success.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations and best wishes in advance.
Now, in moving away from Benue State, we'll be joining Samuel Iluzulike, who joins us from Enugu this morning. While Samuel's connection is buffering, Samuel, if you can oblige us, make sure to turn on your visuals too, so we can enjoy the view from your end. Now, while Samuel is trying to get his connection sorted out, Samuel, also check that you're not muted because I can't hear you at this end. Samuel, do we have a good connection? Can we begin now? Check that you're not muted because we can see your visual. Just check that your audio is also fine as well. Now, whilst all of that is sorted out, we intend to also have joining us our correspondent from Sokoto. Would also be visiting Ebonyi, and not forgetting Umuahia, the Abia state capital. If time would also permit, you also would reach the far northeast and Zamfara state this morning to all feel the atmospheres in line with the Yuletide season. But in the moment, let's see if we can rejoin Samuel Iluzulike. Hello, Samuel. Good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning.
Compliments of the season. Thanks for joining us on the program this morning. Where particularly are you joining us from?
I am around Oji River in Enugu State.
Now, what's the atmosphere like at the end of the year, ahead of the Christmas tomorrow?
Well, it's very bright. It's very bright. The weather here is very bright. It shows there's something about to happen.
Now, in terms of tourist attraction sites, where will people in this part of Enugu look to enjoy some feel of Christmas? Should they choose to leave their houses for some sort of public gathering?
Yes. Usually around here, there's always this gathering of people, and we have masquerade displays, and just basically masquerade displays and stuffs like that.
So it's more about the culture on display in this part of Enugu at this time of the year.
Yes,
Are there any
exactly.
also festivals apart from the masquerade display? Are there any festivals that coincide with this Christmas period?
No, basically, this period is only given to Christmas and the cultural display, basically.
So in the hopes for enjoying Christmas, you as a person, what would you be engaging in at this point?
Well,
Well, network, I'm afraid, is not permitting for us to enjoy a smooth conversation with Samuel. But if the connection does buffer and he is back before we cross over to our next correspondent, we'll take his concluding thoughts. All right, whilst that connection is buffering, feel free to also join us on social media as you too can send us short clips of your Christmas experience. You can tag at ADBN_TV on Instagram and on X while enjoying the Christmas and letting us know what Christmas at your end feels like at this part of the year. Don't forget to use the hashtag Morning Express when you do so. And in keeping with more correspondents joining the program this morning, let's see if we can establish yet another connection. The essence of the conversation is Christmas in action, the Yuletide season across major parts in Nigeria. For persons who might be in that location or vicinity that do not have ideas of how to enjoy their Christmas or into some constraint or the other, we look to inform you and give you highlight tourist features and attraction points where you can visit. Yesterday, notably, we started in Akwa Ibom, where we spoke to David Isong, who was at the Christmas village in Uyo, one of the high points for a gathering. And whilst we also visited the Itam flyover with our correspondent there, talking about the Itam Market Day yesterday, coinciding with the day before Christmas Eve being today, Christmas Eve, and with the high influx of travelers and visitors into the state. We also visited Calabar, the Cross River State capital, where I must tell you, pomp and pageantry is on display. The Christmas festivals and Calabar Carnival are getting to their peak point with different activities on the calendars. We did look at some of the performances across some of the other festivals on stage at the UJS Swene Sports Stadium. And we do hear that the mother of them all, Africa's biggest carnival, is set to take center stage going into the weekend. Well, from there, we also crossed over to the Etagbo Marian axis, where some of the transport companies are situated in the state. Speaking to some of those who decided to share their thoughts with us on a free transport initiative by the state governor, Prince Basio II, who gave free bus rides within the intercity routes. Now, in keeping with this roster, we'll still tell you more about other features of our Christmas in Action special feature. But at this point, let's see if we can establish a connection with our Sokoto correspondent, Lawal Aliu. Hello, Lawal. Compliments of the season to you.
Compliment, same to you.
Well, tell us what's Sokoto like at this point of the year. We know it's largely a non-Christian state, but in terms of the end of year festivities, what's the atmosphere like?
Yeah, the atmosphere is not just like the atmosphere of many years back. When we talk about 10 to 15 years back, you can see the situation here in Sokoto is quite different because a lot of people, when it is Christmas Eve, you see Christians brothers going to the market for their last shopping to celebrate Christmas. But at this point in time, when you move around the town and the street, you hardly see anything, happening. So I was interviewing one of Christian faithful before this interview. He told me that nothing good is really happening because of the hardship being faced by Nigerians. And one of the other businessmen who actually supply chickens during this Christmas every year, you can see that he said nobody has contacted him for to bring chicken for him to purchase for the Christmas. And people traveling decided to stay back in Sokoto because of the cost of transportation from the northern part of the country to the southern part of the country, or where they are going to spend their Christmas. Especially, I was interviewing one Igbo colleague. He said he wanted to travel to Enugu, but the cost of transportation is very cost. You have to spend like 30 to 35,000 naira to travel to Enugu by road, not to talk of by air. So you see, the cost of transportation has, prevent people from traveling to the southern part of Nigeria or to celebrate their Christmas. And in the market, the cost of food items, uh, the plate of rice is now about 3,800 to 4,000, even 4,500 to 5,000. The bottle of oil, it's about before it's 1,500, but now it's about 3,000 naira. So you can see the cost of items have skyrocketed, and this has affected the celebration. down here in the northern part of the of Nigeria.
Now, Lawal, you've highlighted some very important issues. Let's see if we can pick them one after the other in reference to what happened last year. Now,
Yeah.
last year we did see an initiative under the presidential 50% transport subsidy. I don't know if residents of Sokoto benefited, but it seems to be in the conversations to happen this year. In line with
Mm.
this 50% transport subsidy, are you hearing any news from Sokoto that transport companies in that part of the country would be willing to participate in this initiative of the federal government?
No, not at all. I've been going around to see if there is going to be discount from people traveling down to the southern part or to their destination to celebrate their Christmas. Have not heard about any arrangement by the government or state government to make a discount of people who are traveling.
Now, another aspect you raised was the price of livestock, using chicken as an example. Can you
Yes.
tell us if you have an average of what the cost of a chicken right now in Sokoto is as compared to last year?
Yeah, the cost of chicken right now in Sokoto is average average chicken, just like one chicken, you can purchase it up to 7,000, uh, 7,000, even 10,000 naira. So when you want to buy like 5 to 6 chickens, you have to spend not less than 50,000 to purchase those chicken for your
And as
celebration.
compared to last year, that would have been what
As
amount?
compared to last year, yeah.
Wow. Interesting. Now, on the part of the state government, we know that some state governments have also engaged in some sort of palliative distributions. Are there any talks from the Sokoto state government on being able to afford some of the poor demographics some palliatives to mark the end of year?
Yeah, no, any palliatives. The only thing that the state government did here in Sokoto is to ensure that they pay salary before month end, which is they started paying salary 15 uh, at the 15 months, 17 and 18. Even before 20th of this December, they have already paid their salary. So this is just the package I know that the state government has provided for people to go for their Christmas.
Now, away from the Christmas festivities, I know it's the end of year and beginning of the new year. For you, much like myself, we're in an occupation where we don't have the luxury of holidays. But
Yeah.
are you going to be participating in any recreational activities to mark the end of the year?
Yeah, it's the stressful year, and a lot of things have really happened. So I'm thinking of just having some time with the family because I've not been able to stay with the family and enjoy the year. So I decided at the end of the year I will have to spend time with my family, take them out, and enjoy myself a little bit. If I am not occupied, I'm just getting prepared for tomorrow so that I can file in report down here from Sokoto, Christmas report, to see how it's happened in churches and in places where they are going to celebrate this Christmas. So it's not an easy task for me, but when it's like 25th of December, in previous years, you can see people, going to the market, purchase clothes for them to celebrate Christmas and New Year. But you see, when you go around now, you see people doing their normal business, and this when you ask people around, they say there is no money. Or how are we going to celebrate? But before, you see even young people who are not Christians get buying clothes in the market for them to see, because there is an event that happened at the eve of the new year, where people gather in different places to witness the first day of January every year in Sokoto. So you see people preparing to make sure that they have new clothes, new outfits, everything new. Some will also decorate their motorcycles just to make sure they move. Some will also do new attires, in groups, so that they will be identified. Okay, this is the group that has this kind of outfit, and they will move to other places like creation centers to enjoy themselves, to have drinks, to have party, to talk to one another, to interact, and this is keeping them close to each other.
Well, Laul, I must thank you for your objective review of Christmas in Sokoto this morning, and I'm wishing you the best of the end of the year and a happy new year in advance.
Thank you. Same to you. Thank you very much.
Well, leaving Sokoto now, let's continue with our roster of correspondents and eyewitness reporters. We'll be crossing over to Umuahia, Abia State capital, where Jennifer is waiting to join us and also share her perspectives on Christmas in action. Hello, Jennifer. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Our compliments of the season. Thanks for joining the program.
Wishing you the same. Thank you.
All right, bring us up to speed. What's the atmosphere in Abia? Where particularly are you joining in from this morning?
I'm joining from Umuahia in Abia State.
Would you say there is Christmas in the air this morning? What's the build-up for tomorrow?
There is no Christmas in the air in Umuahia, to be specific. The people say Umuahia has never had Christmas before. But if you move over to Aba, you can see the decoration, you can feel the spirit of Christmas in the air. And the only thing that is as closest to feeling the spirit of Christmas over here in Umuahia is Hamatan. The Hamatan is doing much justice, and it's a bit cloudy. You can hear the smell of burnt tires and some persons pricing for protein, the likes of chicken, goat meat. Aside that, there is no Christmas in the air.
Now, one of the issues there with the insinuations by persons is the relative peace and security enjoyed in Abia all through the year 2024 as compared to last year at this point in time. How would you compare the peace and serenity in the state in that perspective?
I would really like to focus with Umuahia. Umuahia is much peaceful, but in Aba, we've had cases once or twice or thrice. We've had cases of insecurity. As a matter of fact, in Aba, they are still observing the sit at home on Mondays. There's no market. Market is not open. But over here in Umuahia, we don't observe sit at home. There is peace, there is security, but from 7 p.m. in the evening, everyone seems to be on lockdown. People rushing back home and closing up, and this is due to the hearsay of insecurity.
Now, whilst that's the case, we'd also look to find out from you if you have an idea of the market survey in terms of commodity prices in the market at this time of the year in Umuahia. Is the price relatively higher than it used to, or what's the average price of some staple food items that you know of?
Products are very high in price over here. To even acquire rather onions, I went to the market over the weekend, and onions for 500 naira could be seen to be onions of back in the day that could go for 50 naira. And in some cases, I hear from one of my friends, they can't even acquire onions for 500 naira, because that seems to be the least amount of onions. So products are very expensive. It has always been like that over here. But transportation is it's not expensive. It's the way it used to be. I mean, a short distance still goes for 150 naira. The only difference now is that the prices of commodities is high, is on the high side.
Now, I don't know, for out of state travel, last year the federal government embarked on a 50% transport subsidy, and there are talks that this year there would be another such initiative. Do you know if persons in Umuahia are somewhat benefited, or if the state government is also looking at subsidizing the cost of transportation?
We've not seen anything like that yet. As a matter of fact, still over the weekend during my survey, the private bus station over here from Uma here to Akwa Ibom to Uyo to be specific, if you're going with a bus, is at the rate of 4,500 naira. And if you're going with a Sienna, it's at the rate of 5,000 naira. So it's something that used to be, I remember last year, December, I had paid 3,500 naira for Sienna, while the boss, I had paid 3,000 naira. There's been an increase, but it's not so much as compared to what I hear of other places.
Now, in conclusion, I'm asking what your own plans to celebrate tomorrow is like. Are you going outdoors or staying indoors? Is there going to be a special meal? Or what are some of the highlight activities you have lined up for yourself?
For myself, okay, I'm on morning duty for tomorrow. In our line of work, we work even on during the festive season. But I look forward to things. Acquiring protein is like a big thing. I look forward to preparing otomboro. It's a native food in Akwa Ibom State. I am from Akwa Ibom, so I look forward to preparing it and sharing it with some core members who are still at the workplace here with me.
Well, we must thank you, Jennifer Bassi, for taking our time to share with us this morning your perspective of Christmas in Umuahia.
You're welcome.
Well, interesting to hear she's preparing some local delicacy to share with core members in her vicinity. And it's in the spirit of Christmas. One of the highlight activities for most persons is the spirit of sharing. And despite the current economic realities, persons like Jennifer and most other Nigerians would still remain in that Christmas spirit of putting a smile on the face of a neighbor. Well, keeping with more reports coming in this morning, still on our lineup, we'll also wait for our next correspondent to join in. We're looking at some of the areas visited. It's important to highlight that in Abuja, as compared to the prices in Sokoto, a chicken in Kubwa, as reported by Kenneth, is within the range of 12 to 25,000 naira, depending on size. That same chicken in Sokoto, 7,000 to 15,000 naira in terms of size, much like Lawal Aliu said. Now, in other areas visited on the program do include Lafia and Nasarawa State, where our correspondent Mary Ojiji yesterday did tell us that some of the transport companies, unlike what we hear is the practice across Nigeria, are still keeping the cost of transport fixed. We listened to the Secretary Alhaji Garba talk about the fact that Lafia and its meaning is peace, and this is occasion to allow travelers still enjoy a travel experience without having to pay at a higher cost. Now, I do hear there's another person waiting in line to share their Christmas in action with us. Hello? Whilst I'm still trying to get that feedback, it's important to note that you can also share your perspectives on our social media handles as well. All right, good morning. Can you hear me?
Good morning.
Well, Ibrahim Tukur from Zamfara, if I'm correct, right?
Yes, I'm Ibrahim Tukur from Zamfara.
Well, compliments of the season. What's the end of year festivities like in Zamfara?
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me at this time. As I'm currently here in Zamfara State in Gusau, the state capital. And the situation here, it's okay, but to be honest, most of the people are complaining about the situation of the put stop at the market, especially now at this joyous moment. People are complaining that they are expecting to get things at a lower cost, at a lower price due to the situation on ground. But it's unfortunate how people got to understand that things are not more affordable to them, especially at this period of time. Yesterday, I was at the market where we get to understand that people are facing difficulties, especially onions and tomatoes, things that has to do with put stuff like that. It's no more affordable. It's unfortunate. The onion of 1,000 naira cannot be up to 5 pieces, which is very unfortunate. Took more of rice as of last week. Rice was about 3,800 naira per mudu. But as of yesterday, rice it's amounting to 4,500 naira here in Zamfara, the Gusau, the capital of Zamfara state.
Well,
So
Ibrahim,
when you
listening to these prices, can you also tell us more about the tomatoes? Because a lot of persons are interested to find out the price of tomatoes owing to the surge we saw during Salah. Are you certain that it has reduced or increased from the price it used to be prior to now?
honestly, the difference is a little because I can recall during Salah celebration, the basket of tomato it's amounting to 6,000 naira, 7,000 naira. But as of yesterday, it's amounting to 5,500 naira. But if you look at the time, the range is not that far. If you look at the season now, this is the time that we get availability of tomatoes in our farms. Considering the fact that we are facing the issue of insecurity, so people cannot be able to farm tomatoes, but still we're expecting to get it cheaper and affordable at this time of because at least a little bit people have farmed tomatoes or like during Salah because of the season that we are now. But to be honest, the little change we have, it's not okay for the people here in the state. The expectation is at least the basket of tomatoes should not be more than 4,000 naira. Looking at the situation now, but I can tell you the basket of onion is amounting to 12,000 naira, which during Salah it's just amounting to 8,000 naira. So you see, the onion on is more costly than the tomatoes on. If you compare with that one of Salah and this one of Christmas.
Now, you did mention the issue of insecurity, which Zamfara has been grappling with over time, considerably over the last few months. Would you say that there has been some improved security situation, or what is indeed the situation of things at the moment?
Yeah, to be honest, Alhamdulillah, we can see a little bit change. As of a few months back, in Anka local government, one of the local government area of the Zamfara state, there is this notorious bandits, kingpin that were killed with his troops, Halilu Sububu. So if you look at the Zamfara West region, the range of kidnapping, I can say it's reduced. Kidnapping, right? The range of kidnapping reduced. But these mining, artisan miners, illegal miner of the things, these are the things that is still deteriorating our people. People will be kidnapped and kept in custody of bandits for them to do mining for them, which is one of the major things that is, worrying about people in the for a note. So precisely, I can tell you the range of kidnapping, seeking for ransom has reduced due to the bandit have other activities that they are doing, which is mining in the northwest region of the Zamfara state, Anka local government to be precise. So I can tell you honestly, the issue of insecurity has reduced because the mines of bandits were taken to another part that they can get money at least. So we can say there's a little bit change because the range of kidnapping has reduced to almost 40%. Unlike before, every day from Anchor to Gusau, not less than 10, 15 to 20 people have been kidnapped, asking or seeking for ransom. But today, you can be on your way from Anchor to Gusau and Sepli. The only people that are having issue is those people in the villages because they keep them in their custody to work for them. And to your surprise, if they do mining for them, there's a percentage that they used to give. So now the people find it interesting. People are taking themselves to those places where bandits are doing their mining to work for them and get their benefit and come back to their family. So it's no more about kidnapping now. They turn it to business because you see a young people like me that doesn't have work to do. They will carry themselves, go to that place mining site, work for bandit, do mining for them. After they finish, they will feed them and they will come back to their family peacefully and safely.
Well, quite a very shocking revelation this morning. But on the part of the state government, in line with ameliorating the standard of living for such persons who are now vulnerable to being recruited by bandits, how would you assess their efforts?
Well, the government, I can say, is doing their best because the first thing that they do is to ban any artisan mining in the Zamfara state. But nevertheless, people have nothing to do. If you are jobless, if you don't have anything to do, you have nothing but to go and find something to eat for a living. But for the people, that's IDPs, internally displaced person, and particularly, I can say honestly, there is nothing tangible that government did so far so good, apart from supporting them with sometimes food to eat. Some non-governmental organization are providing some food stuff for them. What they are lacking is shelter. It's unfortunate how you see internally displaced people, that's vulnerable people, I can see living in a dilapidated building, especially now that we are facing this issue of cold of a thing. So there are need for government to make a provision for those people living in dilapidated building, some residing in public schools with no jacket, with no cardigans, with no anything to protect their children from cold. So it is unfortunate, to be honest. But then I can see a president. I think it was yesterday. The governor had distributed some food stuff to Christians and other communities related to this Christmas celebration.
Well,
But to be honest, at this junction, I can say up to now there's no more any effort made by the government to make sure that they provide the necessary needed for the people or the vulnerable people in Zamfara. Because
all
as
right,
far as I'm concerned, the vulnerable people in Zamfara are the IDPs for now.
all
Because
right.
it's the high number of people that we have in Zamfara which is vulnerable to
Well,
me.
thank you, Ibrahim Tukur, for sharing your perspectives on the end of year festivities in Zamfara and the efforts of the state governments in that perspective.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, then moving away from Zamfara, let's look to establish connections in Ebonyi State, where Israel Mbam is on standby to join our roving report on Christmas in action. Hello, Israel. Good morning to you. Hello, Israel. Can you hear me?
I can hear you clearly.
Compliments of the season. Thanks for joining us on the program.
Thank you so much.
Bring us up to speed. What's the atmosphere like in line with Christmas in Ebonyi ahead of tomorrow's celebration?
Yeah, as we all know, Southeast is one of the states, Christian states in Nigeria. So the celebration is really, the people are prepared and ready for the celebration. The atmosphere is calm, the atmosphere is lively, the atmosphere shows that something is happening. On the side of government, they have really shown that yes, they are out to support the people celebrate Christmas. The governor, in his magnanimity, graciously approved a bonus of 150,000 naira for all the workers in the state. And I think economically that will also help them prepare and then celebrate with their loved ones. Other activities that the government has also done was to ensure people have something to prepare for the Christmas. Bags of rice were distributed to groups, workers, and especially government appointees. And again, just yesterday, the governor did another impressive gesture to his appointees. I gifted all the state government appointees brand new cars, and that added joy to the celebration in the lives and families of these government appointees. Now, talking about the economic aspect, the people are in high mood. The parks visited yesterday, I was in the Central Park in Abakaliki. Passengers were all there, people traveling to their different villages, those coming in from other states to show that the celebration is happening. Where I'm standing right now is one of the popular roads in Abakaliki, Waterworks Road, Abakaliki. Though there is not much traffic within this area, but when you get to other parts of the area like the international market, when you get to the Central Park, Abakaliki, you will see more of the busy environment. So government areas are not left side. They are all celebrating. Then Christian organizations like the Christian Association of Nigeria, a few days ago, they organized what they call the State Praise Night. It was colorfully organized. Organizations, groups are also spicing up the celebration with other activities like sporting activities, carol of nine lessons, and the rest. So the most important thing I can say is that there is no reported cases of say violence, armed robbery, and what have you. The state is calm, the state's environment is cool. So that's the much I can give you right now as it has to do with the celebration in Ebonyi State.
Well, Israel, I must commend you on a very robust and detailed activity lineup in Ebonyi State. I just have one final question before we let you go this morning. It's on the cost of living in Ebonyi, transport and food items wise. How would you say, as compared to last year, the cost of living is this year?
Yeah, generally we know the cost of things in Nigeria and the cost of living generally is so difficult. But I can authoritatively tell you that the usual hike in prices of transportation fare, the cost of things in the market, especially edible things, they are not really that much because the people are already battling to cope with the current economic challenges in the country. And before now, the prices of fuel is usually on the high side when you come to Christmas. But I think there is no such happening within the state. The prices of fuel are still at, I think yesterday at the police station I bought 1,080 naira a liter. So I can say things are really normal. There is no difference in prices of things or transportation fare in the name of Christmas. But I must say some transport companies added little, but can't be compared to that of last year. You know, during Christmas season in Southeast, people hike the transportation fare, prices of goods and services. But I can vividly tell you that such is not on the high side in the state currently.
Well, Israel, we appreciate you for your time on the program. We're wishing you the best of the Christmas festivities tomorrow and a Happy New Year in advance.
God bless you. Compliment of the season to you.
Thank you. God bless you too.
You're welcome.
Well, away from Ebonyi Abakaliki to specific, beg your pardon, Israel with one of the most detailed accounts of how Christmas has been in preparations from the angle of the state government, where Governor Francis Wumfiru graciously approved 150,000 naira as Christmas bonuses and also awarded cars to political office appointees. He says the Christmas spirit in the state is high, commending the security agencies as there have been no reported cases of disruption to peace. Now, let's see if we can have another reporter join us. And whilst that is the case, we'd also be looking to give you some of our Christmas messages, if time will permit, from the staff and management of ADBN Television. Whilst that is also on the scorecard, I wouldn't want to be the one to let the cat out of the bag. Would have this reports come to you as they are lined up. But one of the persons we're speaking with this morning before network rudely interrupted us is Samuel Iluzuike from Enugu. I don't know if Samuel's network is much better, but let's see if we can reconnect to Samuel as we take our concluding comments from our Christmas in Action special feature on the program this morning. Hello, Samuel. Well, Samuel's network has been a little bit not Christmas friendly this morning, but would keep trying. Well, it's important to note that this report's coming in just show in perspective the different atmospheres in different cities and states within Nigeria. And wherever you find yourself, it's important to note that relatively you can make do with what you have and enjoy the season. It's for the hope of a better year 2025. As much as 2024 had come with unprecedented high levels of inflation and aggravated cost of living, setting hikes in electricity tariffs and other social amenities, it's been 1 year to remember. Well, let's see if we can conclude with Samuel again in 5 minutes or less before we have our Abuja sports editor join the program. Samuel, thanks for rejoining us on the program.
Yeah, sorry for the
Yeah, we're just
interruption.
listening to you talk about the masquerade displays that persons should expect from this part of Enugu before the network so rudely interrupted. You can pick it up from there.
Yeah. So basically, this period it's just left for the cultural displays. So there are no much activities going on this period. Just basically the cultural displays and a little bit of some kind of end of the year friends committee party and then communities end of the year party and stuffs like that. Yeah.
Now, and in terms of the cost of living, how would you compare prices in transportation and commodities this year as compared to last year?
Well. This year, of course, this year is seriously on the high increase, especially when it has to do with cost of living. Then the increase in transportation, of course, started when we had a little hike in the fuel price. So but for the cost of living, it's seriously very high this period
And there's been a
to
recent
compare with
slash in
last
the
year.
pump price of fuel. I don't know if you're benefiting from it. What's the cost of buying a liter of fuel right now?
Well, the last time I did 1,080 naira. So, but that was like about a few days ago. So I don't know if maybe it's they are yet to implement the current price or something. I don't know.
But on the alternative, is there stable power supply?
Yes. We have good power supply this period.
Well, then, thank you for rejoining to share your concluding thoughts on the program. We wish you the best of the Christmas celebration.
All right, thank you for having
You're
me.
welcome.
All right.
Well, this is as much as we can take from our Christmas in Action Yuletide across cities in Nigeria special feature on Morning Express.